position for SHOX. Is he gonna lock it in there? Really? Not the middle. No carry position. Gonna start a little bit timidly on the side. Let's see. Let's see. You know, he confesses that he didn't plan ahead. Interesting.
Interesting start from SHOX in the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, the advantage might be that he can get forward expansion and maybe one or two of the big mexes before Randy really is able to react to the start position. But
it's basically 3 expansion pads versus 2 expansion pads.
Yeah. You really lock yourself out of a lot of, and I mean, you kind of lose any map control you might have had on the right side. So I think who was it Ragnar was talking about, you know, a while ago, I think, about how important it is to kind of start as close to the center as you can, and then that just always gives you the ability to react to where anything, you know.
Yeah, certainly.
It gives you the best information, it gets you the best reaction.
It's not just that, it's like how far you are from the other side. So I think SHOX here is at a bit of disadvantage because, you know, like when Randy figures out his start position, he can just easily expand east without worrying too much about SHOX being able to go all the way, send units to the right. Yeah.
Maybe I'm trying just to prove. Maybe SHOX can really take all of this forest. I mean, it's only like 5,000 energy, but still, figuring maybe there's some way he could take this position pretty good.
I mean, if you want trees, you still got the center right position has got, you know, a forest right there on its right side. Yeah, that's 7,000
That's even
energy
more.
There.
That's
it is
14,000 versus 5. Not all trees are made equal, apparently. All right.
Okay, so Randy's scouts are out. SHOX knows where the scouts are.
Oh,
and he
Randy
probably knows
scouts the correct position. It's like, Randy's is my opponent even in the game?
He's like, what's going on here? Okay. There's only one place he can be now, so let's find it. Just confirm.
Well, you can start 0 max behind in the water. Confused.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Does SHOX have some plan about a water cheese of some kind? I mean, I
don't know. I don't think I have seen SHOX play this map. I've seen a lot of tournament players play this map in like 3v3s and 2v2s and even 1v1s. Interesting how SHOX isn't first time seeing this map and making this far, but you know, I bet like SHOX can adjust. I don't think he's that far behind. I mean, he's same on he's ahead on energy produced and more efficient. He has basically the same metal. The only thing he really lacks is like 3 expansion pads, but nobody of them is actually like rushing already down. The Randy is now going for the 4 mixes on the bottom, so that's the only difference.
SHOX dodging the LLT. He could take out a couple mexes and maybe some wind on the other side of the lab.
That's good.
Blitz coming
Randy
in.
Doesn't have as much mix yet.
2 mechs and a wind. 2 mechs and a wind.
Not
too bad.
Pretty annoying losing mixes as a vehicle player, since you cannot, for example, get a res bot and resurrect it basically for free. You have to eat it and remake it with an actual con, which takes away the BP potential.
Yep. Randy actually forced to defend that right side a little bit.
Oh, he's gonna self-destroy the grunt to deny.
The part that was supposed to be free. The part that was supposed to be free. Okay, so Randy's scout coming back around to pick up a couple open mexes. Actually, getting that forward radar is pretty nice too. He's got an eye on Randy's commander. SHOX's commander now moving more towards the center.
Did he get? Oh, that was a radar. Oh yeah, yeah. That's interesting. I think Randy has another radar, but not that far. SHOX now. Well, SHOX is still gonna be able to, basically, I think, control 2 of the high mech spots in the middle. I don't know if all the viewers know that there's like 4 really big mexes. RTX can show a little bit around as well. Yeah.
Where?
Oh, somebody
I
driven nice
circled
lines
them.
over them.
Circled him for you.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, these are.
So,
Let's see.
Whoops, I think I circled some of the wrong ones. Sorry.
I think you did.
No, no,
I think
you
did.
were right. Yeah,
You
this,
were
no.
right. Yeah.
this
Oh, that's
one.
1.9. Yeah. This one.
there, that one.
Okay. Yeah, so these 3 mexes.
All
Yeah,
right,
3.6.
SHOX is going for attack. Big raid, actually. Let's see. I think Randy has enough. Should have 8 versus 14. I don't know.
He does.
And those are hurt. There's a hurt. The flashes are pretty hurt, actually.
With
the
good
blitzes.
micro though, SHOX could probably do pretty well. I mean, this is the grunt versus everything matchup, right?
He's
So-
scared. He's scared.
Yeah. I mean, they're
He wanted
spread
to
apart,
get him
which
for
can
free.
be nice, but I think in this case you want a line that you can kite blitz with.
There's a little scout here. It might take this constructor.
It's already taken out a resbot.
Oh yeah, 1 kill on it.
Yeah.
SHOX not getting a resbot to resurrect those 2 mexes.
Yep.
Losing metal. It's like almost 4 metal not being paid. Randy is ahead by almost 8 metal per second.
And even though he kind of controlled that left side with the high mechs, he didn't actually take it. He kind of moved his commander towards the center, I think, realizing he needs that position. For now, Randy able to expand pretty freely on the right side. Can bots cross over the center ridge? Do you know LSR? Can bots
What's that?
actually cross over that ridge in the center, the kind of the mountains?
I think in a couple of places. Yeah, in a couple places. It's pretty hard to run. It's I think both of the mountains are different, but you can run alongside the ridge. I think Sabotai has used it to his advantage, and people do try to run up on the ridge because vehicles definitely can't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
over the mountain. So the
Well, I
bots
was
can.
thinking as a shortcut to get through back to the
Yeah,
right side
it's
where he can handle.
really hard to see. Now he'll go up and
Yeah,
might
yeah.
be able to scavenge some of the forces, but I think the algorithm by itself, you have to be really giving like shift queued commands or
Oh, there he goes over. They're finding some paths there. Yeah, that's fine. It is a lot of blitz from Randy though, coming into the center, and SHOX's grunts are kind of, the rest of them are all over the map, so this could be kind of dangerous actually. He does have some LLTs, but I don't think it's enough. At least not in the center.
This might cause some damage.
So
At the north now, they might kill 2 constructor, but let's see.
there's a lot of LLTs over there, and with
Yeah.
some tanks reinforcing. I don't think they're going to get much done. If he focuses down some a constructor, maybe.
Yeah.
But even, I mean, that is one of the nice advantages for vehicles is the constructors have a lot of HP too. So if you know,
SHOX raid is gonna be big.
yeah. So that's the secret path to get over, and then so he'll be able to take out all the expansion on the right side for free because it was free to
Might
take.
be also and
I think these blitz have now been whittled down far enough in the center that they're not going to be able to push through like they might have been able to earlier.
he gains a little bit of map control and position, but let's see if it will not bite Randy even against SHOX reinforcements. Although SHOX has stopped producing due to him transitioning to vehicles.
SHOX
Randy's
is
still-
behind in energy.
And in metal as well.
Randy with more build power on the single lab too. I mean, yeah, his reinforcements are farther away, but like
There's more tougher units as well. Like
Yeah.
especially if you see like the Stumpies versus the Rockos and Pawns. As
Yeah,
long as
this-
he doesn't lose his commander right now and rebuilds quite nicely, which he does. He does rebuild quite nicely. And also he has a
I think
Yeah,
SHOX is gonna try for the snipe. Now it's definitely not good enough. So he backs off. He backs off, but he lost quite a few grunts in that exchange.
Randy has a raid in the south as well, with those
Those
what do you call
blips.
them? Yeah, which the projects or the whittled down forces will actually be transferred into the raiding party down in the bottom.
Sure. Yeah, he kind of drove around and then drove back down the right side. Because yeah, I mean, SHOX had an army over there at one point, but he used that to raid, and so it died. And left that pretty open.
Really love the SHOX's expansion style, but Randy has been just building mexes, like way more. You can see that he has more expansion pads. They're not defended, but he has the metal income. And while SHOX has a really strong front with like close positions, his backline, like the south raid, did a lot.
Right.
And Randy even scared the SHOX into making like a base LLT. So I think SHOX is in trouble now. Now for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's behind. Randy's up to 3 nanos on his lab.
And Randy has a decent army in the middle. I'd say even bigger. So SHOX is going to commit to try to take out one of the expansions, which is a good call, but, you know, he's going to run into LLT, so he's definitely not going to trade. So let's see how the scout goes. So he's going to...
Especially not if he pushes him in a single line like that. Okay, so he's like, okay.
No. Yeah, I
He
think
sees the
just wanted-
LLTs and he...
And he will
just
go
goes
to
try
different LLTs, I think. He will check that position. That position also
Even
has
more
all 5
LLTs.
and no cons to kill, so... It's rough. Where he can actually do some damage at the base, kinda.
I think Randy
Yeah.
sees it already.
Yeah. The
So,
blob.
He's gonna
We'll
have...
regroup and take a fight with 4 tanks next to the LLT.
Yeah.
I guess there is some wiggle room, but it's so hard, especially.
Well, and he's
if-
getting LLTs in the base too now, especially if they're clumped up and microed. You're not going to be able to survive much plasma. Okay, SHOX looking for some harassment in the middle too.
Get some free damage in on tanks.
Yeah, I mean when your line is a little bit denser like that, you can trade well, but
Ooh, he might go for the comm. He's go for the comm. SHOX wants to kill the comm. At least set the target on the comm. We'll try to skirt, and goes from the back.
okay,
With,
and the grunt's coming in
let's
from behind at the same
that's-
time.
that's full
Randy's got
commit.
no energy. He's stalling
Deegan?
hard.
Yeah,
800,
GG.
400.
That's it.
Yeah, GG.
Ooh, that was rough for Randy. All the advantage, but the decisive SHOX action goes in. And
Yeah. This is the second time SHOX sniped a commander, right? He did that earlier with Ragnar. Even though I think he was behind, and this game as well, it seems that he was behind, but he managed to snipe the commander somehow.
I don't know if Randy recognized that he might have like a decent advantage and you know get away from. I don't know. Could mix with Armada. It's a little bit harder to mix in the riots to stop the enemy tanks. Although, what do you think about if Randy gets some a couple of Januses and maybe he stops the blob from being too advanced and fires so easily?
Yeah, I think, I mean, Janus would have been pretty nice. I think there's a pretty heavy meta around tanks and a lot of history from BA that sort of reflexively build tanks the whole time.
I thought it was maybe mix like 3-1 or something. 3 tanks and 1 Janus. Because Janus still deals damage if the enemy blobs them up nicely, and it definitely stops like these dives a little bit better, I'd feel.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, the grunts from the back, I think, were one of the the big keys, and the fact that Randy was stalling at the time, so he didn't have energy to D-gun.